Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 3. We're moving right along. First of all, before I get started into this week's content, I guess you might notice that the background looks a little bit different. I'm not in my office tonight. I'm actually in my home sitting on my couch. And so, yeah, just a little bit different. I hope it's not too distracting. So this week we're moving right along, making a lot of progress. We're actually moving into the meat of the content of the course. I'm going to switch documents really quickly. So this module is titled Biological Influence in Early Development. And so this week we have a couple of readings. The first reading is in the Hooper-Nemansky textbook in Chapter 2. I need to make you aware that this is the last chapter that I will be able to scan and provide in Canvas. We are regulated by copyright laws and the amount of percentages of text that we can provide, that we can scan and copy, and so this will be the last chapter that I will provide. If you have not received your textbook yet, please reach out to me as quickly as possible, and we'll see what sort of accommodations we can make for you, maybe by contacting one of your classmates. A couple of other things that you will look at this week. One specific document that I want to show you is a document that is titled the same as this week's topic, Biological Influence on Early Development. This is a very interesting document, so I wanted to talk to you about it for just a minute before you actually pull it up on your own and start looking at it. This is a document that was passed down to me when I got to UNC and took over this course, and it was compiled by medical doctor Jim Harrington of Greenwood Pediatrics. It talks about early development from prenatal development through several years. It's not the easiest document to look at. It can be it's a little bit interesting. It can be a little bit challenging to read. And what I've garnered from looking at this document for several semesters now is that it looks like it's some notes that Dr. Harrington had put together either for a PowerPoint presentation or some sort of presentation that he was doing. It seems like it's some notes that he typed. And so some of the text, it's not written in a narrative format. Some of it's bullet points. There are a couple of tables like that, and some just very short notes. But it's really good information, and so I encourage you to just try and stick with it and go through and garner what information you can from this document. I feel like the information that's provided here is too good to not use. And since I didn't compile this document, it's really not up to me to try and put words in Dr. Harrington's mouth. And so work your way through it and glean what information you can from this document. I'm going to go back to actually the weekly overview. In addition, there is a link to a web page that talks about how early experiences alter gene expression, and then there are several short videos that you will watch. One of the things that I want to talk to you about in regard to these videos is that I've been having a little bit of challenges with these videos because they utilize the Adobe Flash Player in order to play, and I've been having a little bit of challenge with that. So I've contacted the IT department. They suggested that I try a couple of different browsers. I usually use Chrome for most of my internet browsing, but they suggested that I try a couple others. I tried Firefox. The last time I used these videos, I was able to use Firefox to view them. This time I was actually able to use Microsoft Edge and view these videos, so you may have to try a couple of browsers. I just wanted to show you that. I'll actually go into Canvas and go into student view so it looks familiar to you. So if you will go into the modules, in module, oh, it's not, let me go back. Let me leave student view. My apologies. I have not. So I'm going to publish the module, then I'll go back into student view and we'll take a look really quickly. Okay. Now that I've briefly published the module, if you look in week 3, module 3, you're going to see the overview document, which is this document. You are going to see Hooper and Umansky Chapter 2, again, the last time that I will be providing the chapter, the website on how early experiences alter gene expression, the document of Dr. Harrington's, and then these next few items: effects of hormones on children's growing body, birth and the testing of the newborn, children with Down syndrome, raising a baby with spina bifida, and the baby brain map. When you click on those, when you get to those, you may have trouble. I've already clicked. You may have trouble. System controls the. You'll want to play around with the browsers. You may want to reach out to the IT department to see if they can give you any clues or suggestions on how you can view these videos, these short videos. So this week's topic of biological influences on early development. What you're going to read in the Hooper and Umansky chapter, it begins out with some principles of development, so the ways that we see development typically unfold in all children. So the principles of development, and then the text is going to go into what we would expect to see in typical early development across all domains: motor domain with fine and gross motor, physical development, cognitive development, adaptive development, communication, and social and emotional development. Because it's only through knowing what typical development looks like that we can start to recognize, when we're working with young children, what might be atypical. So knowing typical development, milestones, and when they should occur in a young child's life helps us to know when there are red flags that might indicate atypical development. So this is a really good foundation and place to start our learning and knowledge about development. So another thing that this chapter will discuss in Hooper and Umansky are some causes or factors that might influence development, what might cause development to fluctuate from typical into the area of atypical development. This information will be helpful as you begin to think about your research paper topic. I know that some of you have already begun communication with me via email about your topic, but some of you might get some ideas and start thinking about that this week. So the research paper topic is due at the end of next week, or at the end of week or module 4. So you'll want to start thinking about that. And I want to show you in Canvas what you should do. I'm still in student view, so this should look pretty familiar to me. So if you go down the menu here and go into assignments, when you get in the assignments, you want to scroll down to research paper topic. When you click on research paper topic, you will see that you can click on the guidelines and rubric, potential topics that might sort of start you thinking in the direction that you might want to work. And then, as you can see, a couple of people in our class have already begun to communicate with me and had their topic approved. So before you reach out to me, once you start thinking about your topic, you're going to want to come here to the research paper topic. in the Assignments tab and look at this growing list because topics are approved on a first-come, first-served basis, and each topic can only be taken by one student. So if the topic that you're interested in is already here, you're going to need to rethink that, maybe narrow the topic a little bit or select another topic. The research paper potential topics, if you open this document, just has a list just to sort of get your ideas flowing and get you thinking in a direction if you don't have an idea of where you want to start. This is by no means a list that you have to choose from, just a list that can get you thinking. So this is what happens here. Once you and I talk through email and I tell you in email that your research paper topic has been approved, then you can come back here. You will see your topic approved by your name and you will click on Submit Assignment. You will go in and you will simply type the approved topic that we have discussed via email. So you'll definitely want to start thinking about that this week. It will be due at the end of next week. I'm not going to keep you very long this week. I think I've covered most everything that I wanted to talk about. I hope you have a really great week. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, and I look forward to hearing from you as you start to think about your research paper topics. I hope you all have a really great week.